那我就是接下来去玩其他的结局。我想看看下楼梯是什么样子。
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
这边没有路了吧 ？OK。一辆车子。没办法去面对老板，那就继续往前走。
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
我想要先把他的那
All of
个
my
旁白
coworkers
读完
blinking
再往前。
mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream.
旁白也真的很好玩。
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
耶，这是一场梦，所以我们要继续往前走。我们要把这个梦做完。这好像真的是在循环呢。 真的，一模一样。
He imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
怎么会有杯子倒了？
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real.
哇！怎么气氛开始诡异起来了
Who am I? And everything went black.
别吓我啊你！可恶的旁白，臭旁白。
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this. So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
这就是应该是算第二个分歧吧，就是走左边的门的另外一个分歧。所以，地板怎么铺满了那个纸？刚刚没有的。所以 Stanley 只是自己其实精神状况出问题。这为什么地板都是纸啊
？Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
好，那我们继续走左边门的分歧。那往下走的分歧只有一个，那往上走，往上面走还有其他分歧。这边门可以打开吗？可以耶。上面是个猫熊的图案，有电梯。这边居然有个分歧。电梯有按钮吗？没有几楼的他还没有下去就被我按开了。噔噔噔噔。它这个操作很简单，就只有蹲啊，也不能跳，它就左右、前后左右，然后滑鼠左键。这边有个东西耶，上面有写什么？你不要再抖了。是电梯会停吗？一样的场景这电梯好像根本就没有在动吧？可是它一直在抖我们再等个1分钟看看啊。这里好像什么都没有不等了，不等了。这里没有，我们应该还回得去。应该是一个小那个，这卡住了。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud.
那我们再去输入密码，输入错会怎样？
tearing through papers on the boss's
好像叫2845啊。
off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845.
输入错太多次会怎样吗？
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely. But no, this is what he was going to do.
他好像一直想要让我知道密码。好 ，OK， 都变成红色的字了。我就是不输入，你能拿我怎么样？我看看他会不会再跟我说一遍。
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override and the door just opened all by itself. And
所以最终还是会打开。
Well, whoop-de-doo.
就算你不输入密码，它还是会打开。
And he walked straight ahead through the large door that read "Mind Control Facility."
这个是什么 ？Escapes。这个是什么东西？我要走这里。
Although this passageway had the word "escape" written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his.
会挂掉啊？那我不走了。
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
我不走，因为我想要先去看那个选 No 会发生什么事情。这边可以下去吗
？Happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and
下去好像也没有什么事情发生。
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
我之前是选 No， 那我现在选 Yes 看看会发生什么事情。
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
但是我想要看分歧呀。
The power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now.
所以核弹会爆炸？那我现在按 F 还来得及吗？
What I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time
没有
left
了
to enjoy it. Mere
那我回去。
moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you.
为什么这边会有核弹啊？
Where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
所以旁白是大魔王吗？
I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it
听起来好可怕。
I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
你还要多给我点时间。
Dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it on?
这些红色的按钮可以都关掉啊。
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
全部都按。
These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door.
哎，感觉好像有分歧，因为我刚刚有看到5，这个地方应该会有一些分歧。
One solved. Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge.
我找不到4哎，4应该在3跟5的中间吧？
That's fine, but I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
再见员工427。
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then
no
ending here. Just you being
no.
blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't.
啊，我换的好厉害，这个摇晃力好强。
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
Oh fuck! 哦，对不起，